I am not a sports person. I am not athletically inclined at all. This anime changed my mind. Hello and welcome back to another video. This time I'm going to be reviewing an anime that unexpectedly became one of my favorite anime, and I can guarantee you that I'm going to pronounce it wrong this entire video, so please forgive me. Haikyuu. Woohoo! Those of you who don't know what this anime is about, it is a sports anime, and specifically volleyball. It, in particular, follows Hinata, who is a boy of short stature who dreams of being the next little giant. And it also kind of follows Kageyama. And these two meet in middle school at a competition for volleyball. Kageyama's team wins and Hinata's loses, and they decide to consider each other rivals. And as fate always goes, they end up joining the same school and the same volleyball team. And the anime follows them through their high school career on the volleyball team, and I think past that as well. But disclaimer, I've only seen the first 2 seasons because that's all that's available on Netflix right now. So no spoilers anywhere, please, because that's all I've seen are the first 2 seasons. I don't know what happens. I'm not reading the manga. I am a noob to this anime, but I love it, which surprises me. It surprises me for a number of reasons. The first one, I am not a sports person. The only sport that I can really, willingly and fully enjoy would probably be basketball, and even then, any of the technical terms, nope. I don't know. But I decided to give this anime a chance despite being all sportsy and I'm not athletically inclined. And the second reason that it surprised me that I love this anime so much is there's no romance. Okay, you could argue that there's some because the ships in this anime, there are so many of them. And I ship several of them. So you could say that there's romance, but none of it's canon. But normally I have to have romance to some degree in order for me to even give something a chance, which is super petty of me, but I live for romance and I'm a hopeless romantic. So it surprised me and also delighted me that I got so into and fell so in love with an anime that really has no romance. It focuses more on friendship and teamwork, and I love it. I wanted to talk about why this anime has become one of my favorites and why I would probably devote the rest of my life to talking about it. Strangely enough, one of the reasons that I really, really like this show is that it focuses on friendship and teamwork. I think that that's such an underrated topic, but it's so important. Not even just teamwork within an actual team, but teamwork in terms of just your relationships with others. Teamwork is important. I like to think of, when you go into a romantic relationship, it's also a team. Your partner's in a team and you're working together. So focusing on teamwork and friendship is just really appealing, probably because it is so underrated and it's not talked about that much and it's not explored that much. And Haikyuu just really explores friendships and teamwork, what makes a teamwork. And what I also love about it is the creators were able to make each team unique and to pull out why these teams work for them and might not work for someone else. And I love that aspect of the uniqueness of each team and how they all work together and how every person brings something unique to the table, and I just love that interplay of all of it, and I think it's brilliant. The reason, and this is the main reason, the characters. I don't think it's possible to choose a favorite at all. Because in my experience, I favorite all of them. All of them are my favorite. I remember watching the first season and just agonizing over who I like the best. Like, oh, which one's my favorite characters? Like, oh, Hinata, no, Kageyama, no, Nishinoya, and like just all of them. All of them. And it is so rare to find a show where you love every single character and almost to the same degree. And I love it. I love agonizing over it. And I love that each character is so unique and brings something so lovable to the table that you love all of them. Even, the characters that they introduce as the show goes on, especially as the volleyball teams play each other and introduce all these new teams. Even, in the beginning, you don't know that much about them, but then as the show goes on and each episode goes on, you learn more about these characters and you find yourself falling in love with them too. And that's a testament to the creator of just being able to reveal, get all these characters to be loved, That's just so impressive to me. And in a strange way, I love agonizing over, who's gonna win. Because you want Kurasuno, I'm gonna pronounce everything wrong and I apologize. Kurasuno, you want them to win. They're the main guys, they're the underdogs, they've been working so hard and fighting for this, and you want them to win. But then you learn about the other team and all the hardships they're putting in, they've been going through, and all the effort they're putting in, and all of this stuff. And suddenly you're like, I kind of want them to win too. And if they lose, you're sad, but you're also happy because the main team won. But then you're also like, oh, but the other team worked so hard and they deserve to win too. And it's just agony, and I love it. Because it's how rare is it that you find a show, that you find these characters, and you want every single one of them to win, to succeed in some way. To me, that is so rare. Oh my gosh, and that to me is a big reason why this show has become one of my favorite anime, because every single character I love. Every single one of them I'm rooting for. All of them. Every single one of them. I love them. And that's so rare, and I thoroughly enjoy it. And yeah, that's the main reason why I love this anime so much, is because all the characters, you love all of them. Say this though, this might be an unpopular opinion or it could be a popular one. Whatever, it's just my opinion. I don't really like Oikawa. I don't know, he's the one character so far. Because like I said, I've only seen the first 2 seasons because that's all that's available on Netflix as far as I know. Yeah, he's the one character that I really, it's not that I hate him or really have that negative feelings towards him, but I don't like him to the same degree that I like literally everyone else, I don't know, there's just something about him that strikes me as not as enjoyable, I guess. Maybe it's his lady killer, I guess, or his playboy kind of attitude. I don't know. He's the one character that I can't get behind 100%. I'm still behind him, and he's a brilliant volleyball player, holy crap. But I don't know, he's just the one character, like out of all the characters, he's the one character that I'm just kind of like on, which is so impressive because there are so many characters in Haikyuu. And I'm just kind of meh towards one. Like, I like everyone else. I have trouble picking a favorite. That is just, it's so impressive to me. And it's just such a good show. I will say, a lot of the games are drawn out. But I kind of expected that going into this show because if... This is how much of an anime noob I am. I don't know what they're called, but like a lot of the fight anime, like I think of One Piece or Fairy Tail, those are kind of the anime that pop into my head. Like those kinds of anime, their fight scenes, like one fight is one season. Like, so I was coming into Haikyuu expecting that kind of thing, where the games would be dragged out, and they were. So if that's something that might bother you, like, oh my gosh, this game needs to end already, just be aware that, like, they do drag it out. But it's also done in a way that I'm like, I'm okay with, because even though it's totally unrealistic, like, they do everything in slow-mo, and as they're slowly doing, you know, whatever move they're doing, they have these, like, epiphanies about teamwork and themselves, and, like, they're self-actualizing as they're doing these moves in slow motion, and, like, yeah, it can get tiresome, but it's also, like, there's a purpose to it. They're growing as characters. It's part of the character development. It's part of their team development, and I don't know, it's like, even though it can be dragged out and it's super dramatic, it's still really fun and really enjoyable. And I don't think you should not give it a chance because of that. Like, still give it a chance, see if you can handle it. The thing that I was going to say of, like, kind of a drawback, I guess, is how dramatic it is. But still, it's an anime. You kind of expect everything to be blown out of proportion and dramatic and everything like that, so I really don't think that that's a necessarily bad thing. I'm gonna kind of move into the spoiler section, so if you haven't watched Haikyuu, maybe click off or away, or, you know, continue, but please be aware, spoiler alert! When the first season ended, or I guess going into the show, I was like, crap, is this gonna be Glee? Where they make it to the finals or whatever, and then they lose almost every single season. I didn't finish watching all of Glee, but I think I watched the first 4 seasons, and I don't think they won any of the competitions. Spoiler alert for Glee, I guess. But I was really worried that, like, they would get super, super far and then lose over and over and over again. Like, I thought that that would be how this series worked. Like, they wouldn't make it season 1, they wouldn't make it season 2, they would just continually not make it. And season 2 ends with them going to the finals, which is, like, way more than what I can say for Glee, I guess. Although, I don't remember Glee that well, so maybe they did make it to finals and they just didn't win. But, like, to have them actually progress and make it to season, or, like, actually make it to the finals come season 2, and I think season 3 kind of follows that arc. But to me, that was so appealing, because it was like, it wasn't just that they were losing all the time. The first season they lost because they needed to. They weren't where they needed to be. They needed to work harder in order to actually make it into the finals or whatever. Like, it was on purpose that they lost. Like, not necessarily on purpose, but, like, it was very purposeful that they lost because they had so much more growing to do. And I don't know. For me, it was just like, having them lose the first season made sense. And then for the second season to be a lot about them growing and getting better, and then actually, like, making it. Again, I don't know what happens come the finals, because that's season 3 and that's not available on Netflix as far as I know. But like to have them actually make it is a testament to all the development they made during that season. So like it wasn't upsetting to me, and it was actually really reassuring for me, because I was like, crap, this is gonna be a Glee. The underdog's gonna lose until like the very end, then they're gonna win or like move forward. And to have them actually move forward by the second season, or like at the end of the second season, was like, it's not a totally lost cause. And like, I don't know what's gonna happen next, because again, I haven't seen that yet, but it's like them losing makes sense, because it's like they have more work to do, or they need to grow more, or even just that their opponent is stronger for whatever reason, and they need to work harder for it. And to me, that's part of the appeal of like them losing, is that they'll get something out of it. There's a lesson to be learned, and I know with certainty that the season is going to show them growing and maturing and getting better. And one of the reasons that I really like this show is, or this anime, is all the ships. Like, none of them are canon as far as I know, but it's just so fun to like just kind of let your imagination just kind of take you away and to ship all these characters. And that's another part of the appeal of this show, is like, yeah, there's nothing canon, but you can kind of have these AUs in your mind and you can just kind of go off with it, you know? And that's fun too, and I think the fandom as a whole really enjoys the various ships as well. Anyway, that was my review of Haikyuu. I've probably been pronouncing everything wrong this entire time, but that's okay. Yeah, it's become one of my favorite anime series just from the first 2 seasons, which means I think it's worth the watch. This review was kind of all over the place. I didn't have an outline or anything to look at to kind of help guide me and direct my thoughts, so this was just completely off the cuff, which is okay with me. I had fun, I really enjoy this show, and yeah, that's all I have to say about it. I could probably talk about this for another 5 hours, but we're already, as of recording this, we're already almost at 20 minutes, and that's too long. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that bell button for notifications every time I post. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Then stop it. And this is the main reason. You can see the time really well. Building teamwork is really appealing to me. I don't know where I'm going with this. Excuse me. Anyway, I hope you... Nope, that's not my intro. Outro. Anyway, I don't know what I'm saying.